It always feels great. You know, I haven't been back for a basketball game in years. I thought it was time to come back. They're having a great season. And I just felt like it was just time. I talked to Coach Robinson a lot over text and over the phone, and I was just like, you know, it's just really time. And it's great to come back and see how this university has been built. You know, it's built up. You know, when I was here, it was nothing but dirt and all that stuff around here in them days. But to see that the program is coming up and Coach Robinson got them going in the right direction, and hopefully he can get a lot of other players and keep it going. I just was expressing myself to the team is being at 2-4 in the conference. I think they're the best 2-4 team I ever seen in the Pac-12, and I think they should be better than that. It should be 4-2 right now, but it happens, and I told them just keep working. And it's going to be a great feeling to go back out there and see them try to get a win against USC.
Gary, was there a reason it took so long to come back? I mean, not that, just I know how things go and you're busy, but I mean, was there something out there that maybe you could share with us, or just the way it happened?
Well, no, that's just the way it happened. Especially when I was playing basketball, it wasn't time. I couldn't do it. I've been retired almost 5 years now, and the other coaches before here really didn't communicate with me in the way that I wanted to be communicated with. Coach Robinson is a little different. That was his first thing that when he came here, he communicated with me. You have to have communication with a coach or anybody who is in your alumni to feel comfortable with coming back and doing things like that. So, you know, Coach Robinson me and him has been really close and really tight during his time here. And any other thing than that, it was just that, you know, I was a lot busy. You know, I was into my seasons, I was doing a lot of things, and then the basketball wasn't going on in the summer. You know, it was always the time where I was busy. But now that I have a lot of more time on my hands, you know, I can get back and see them. And I always try to get back. I always be at the Pac-10 tournament. That was around the time that I could come and do things. So it just didn't work out for me. And now it's working out for me to get back.
All that said, do you see the relationships now that Craig is building with the past Beavers? Do you see that stuff paying dividends for the program?
Always, because then when you see that type of stuff and you got recruits that comes in here and they see that guys like myself come back here and give, and, you know, be at the games, young kids want to see that. They want to see people come back like that, and they'll be like, this program is great. You know, we get all the superstars, all the legends come back here and be at this thing, and that helps on recruiting, and especially when he's on the road and I'm at at any kind of recruiting program where place where he's at, and I'm around. It makes it a lot better because a lot of these kids be like, you know, I can talk to Gary Payton, or I can talk to, you know, AC Green, or I can talk to Charlie Sitton. I can do things like that, and it helps a lot with recruiting.
Gary, what else needs to happen here to get this program back to the glory days?
Well, I think that you need recruits. That's the one thing you need. They're going in the right direction by building a facility where people want to come to. Young kids don't want to see old stuff. No, they want to see new stuff. They want to be into whirlpools with a lot of luxury around. They want to see things like that. They want to go to a football game where you got 30 and 40,000 people coming and they're winning football games and going to bowls. That's how Oklahoma does it. That's how Texas and all them type of schools does it. LSU, they want to see that. And now recruits want to see that. So I think with them getting a lot of this stuff done, getting a training facility. You know, I'm hearing that in March they're going to open up a practice facility. Guys want to see that. You know, recruits want to see that, and especially winning. When you win, it brings anybody here. The Pac-10, Pac-12, I mean, now is a program where it's been a tradition. You know, so if you can get back in there winning like the UCLAs and the Arizonas and get on that national level, then anybody will come here and they'll try to be here and they'll be relaxed here.
Can you talk about your relationship with Jared Cunningham, both being a Bay Area guy, and what do you think of his game?
Well, you know, everybody's comparing him to me. I really don't like that because he's his own person. You know, and people should not compare anyone to anyone. You know what I mean? Because it's never going to be another Gary Payton that comes here. You know what I'm saying? My name is Gary Payton, and that's going to be the last Gary Payton unless Gary Payton Jr. comes here. You know, so that's not going to happen. So, you know, so with Jared, I always tell him I do not want to get on his bad side of saying that I got to listen to Gary call me or text me every time with something. I tell him to play hard and do what he has to do. He is a different type of basketball player. I was a fiery basketball player that talked a lot. He doesn't do that. You know, he's a quiet guy. I would like him to change that. I would like him to be vocal a little bit more with his teammates and be a leader that way. It's always good to have them follow by example on the floor, but it's sometimes you have to be vocal, you know. And going further and saying to the pros, you guys don't understand he's 6'3". He's not going to be a 2 guard in the NBA, and I don't think he's going to be a 3. He can't do that. I think he's going to have to be a point guard, and he has to work on them skills. I think he has to work on passing, dribbling the ball, and I think his outside shot has to get a little bit better than what it is. He's improved dramatic. But I think this summer when we get together, we're going to work on that. If he makes a decision that he wants to go pro, I'm going to tell him the truth. If he ain't ready, he's not ready. And that's just the way it goes. And I think he's being a junior and he got one more year. He can come back here, help this program build up, get a lot of more players in here, and then move on. But I know for sure that he's going to go pro. But it's just a thing that I don't compare him to me because he's not a defensive player like me. I was a hands-on defensive player where I got into your job. He's more of a guy who plays the passing lanes and strips people. So it's a little different, you know. So, but, you know, I'm going to work with him. He's going to be okay. Me and his father talks a lot, and I'm going to help him as much as possible.
How do you feel like the guys you responded to in the locker room there, and what kind of things you talked about?
Well, all I did, like I said, I can't go in and tell kids right now, let's get fired up and do this and how to jump and make shots and stuff like that. All I can tell them is what I think, you know, and how I feel. Like I said, to be 2-4 in the Pac-12, I don't think they should be there. They had a lot of hard times in basketball games. The Stanford game was a heartbreaker. The Arizona game is a heartbreaker. They really lost to Washington, I think. Washington State they shouldn't have lost to, but that's just the way it goes. Now you're getting back on that track. They're 2 games away from being in the hunt of this Pac-12. Don't worry about it. You still got the Pac-10 tournament, which they always play well in. I think they're going to win the Pac-12 tournament. I really do. And they just got to work. That's all. Just go out there every night and leave it on the floor, and it'll be fine.
Are you still trying to bring NBA back to Seattle?
I sure am. It's going pretty good. I mean, people don't understand. We keep talking about it, but we can't do anything until September. That's when the contract gets over. A lot of people want to, you know, say, hey, we let's do this, let's do that. We can't do anything. And first of all, we got to get a stadium in Seattle. We're working on that now. We got to get a lot of people on board. I want to be involved with that. You know, I want to be, a lot of the people in Seattle wants me to be in the management and all that, which possibly will happen if it goes down. But we just want to get them back to the NBA to start thinking about Seattle. Seattle's a great town. They deserve it. And a lot of people want to see my jersey retired up in that rafters, which if it never comes back, I think my jersey will never get retired then. You know, but that's just the way it goes, you know, and I hope it comes back, and I think the Seattle fans deserve a basketball team.
Anything else? Thanks, Gary.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Kevin Terrell, former student.
I love it. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, could you sign?
Gotcha. Way to go, Ethan.
Nice to meet you, sir.
All right, nice to meet you too.
Thanks,
See you
Gary.
upstairs. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.